I've been proud to represent Aurora as part of the different congressional districts. No matter how the maps change every 10 years, my first question is where'd they put Aurora, because that's where I'm going to be representing. And I've really been proud of everything this city has accomplished in the time that I've been representing it. But during my time in Congress, it's always been one of my top priorities to ensure that Illinois receives its fair share of federal funding. And it's also my duty to make sure that when that federal assistance arrives, that it arrives in places that do the most good for those that I represent. And that's why I was so proud to secure $1 million in federal funding to bring much needed improvements to the Montgomery Road and Hill Avenue intersection. This funding is going to be used to help modernize traffic signals, create a turn lane, make sure the area is more pedestrian friendly with ADA compliant sidewalks and bike paths. I'm sure that most of us have been stuck in a jam at this intersection once or twice. I know that I have. It impacts drivers across the area, not just Aurora, because a lot of people commute through the area as well. And with the proximity to Phillips Park, it also is a high-traffic area for pedestrians. And that's why I was so proud that we were able to secure this funding. Modernizing this intersection is undoubtedly going to make the area safer. It's also important that when Clayton and the mayor bill the city of Aurora for their travel to Washington, D.C., that people understand there's some return on that investment.
Absolutely.
And it's really, seriously, I'm really proud to see government work together at all levels to make projects like this happen. And, things like a traffic signal and a well-functioning intersection are a real sign that government is doing its job as it should. And residents have long noticed this being an ineffective intersection. And they got their local government on board, who just went to their congressman, our congressional office, for assistance. And we were able to manipulate the wheels of government in D.C. on multiple levels and eventually make this project a reality. And I really can't wait to see it come to fruition. And so with that, I'd like to invite Mayor Richard Irvin and probably also the local alderman. Ted, do you want to come up here? Sure. And Ken Schroth also, who has been instrumental to come up here for the check.
Applause for the $1 million check. Take one more here. Mayor Alderman King, do you have any remarks?
I can say that I don't get to visit Congressman Foster at his office in D.C. very often, but this was a great visit, because when we came back from this visit with him in D.C., we brought back $1 million check with us. So give him a round of applause for bringing that check. And let me say, I can say for sure that I love these large checks here, but I tried to cash the last one that you sent us, and it didn't work out, so I'm going to need you to show us the money, brother. Does it have a number on it? I'm going to try to cash this one here.
Well, yes, actually, the check number on there represents the bill number of the federal legislation that provided the money.
So another round of applause for Congressman Bill Foster for bringing this money here to the city of Aurora time and time again.
I just want to say thank you for all the assistance, Congressman, in bringing this money forward. Not only does it make the project possible, but the good news is, too, it gave us the confidence to extend the project a little further east and take care of another problematic intersection, which is the intersection of Farnsworth and Montgomery. So we're very much appreciative of the funding.
Okay, I just want to close by saying that when you hear that we're having these fights in Washington about budgets and how much federal money to provide, we're not fighting over nothing. We're fighting to make sure that projects like this can happen and help the people that we represent. So.
There's a little bit of surprise to me as well, as many of you out in the audience here this evening. One of the things I learned when I first came on board is how long it takes to get a project moving. And one of the projects that was a big concern in the Third Ward was this intersection. And I want to really thank Director Ken Schroth for his vigilance and never taking his eye off the ball on this one, for sure. But there's also something else besides design and the pressure to get things moving and keep the finger on the pulse, and that is the funding. And one thing that I appreciate here is the congressman working with our administration here and come bringing up this $1 million and bringing it. I know everybody in the third ward is going to be very excited, but one thing that I do know, and if you know Congressman Foster, you know he's not a politician. And if you don't know him yet, you'll find out he's a public servant. He's a true public servant. He cares about our communities and he cares about Aurora. Thank you so much.